Gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Comrade! Labor right, them a go down, bong. Them a go down, bong. Them a go down. Is that? Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. We now vote for Labour. Orange we a come out in now. If you love the PNP, who no step out for Marky G. Jamaica just come along with we. People time come, people time come, people time is up.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I say that we are pledge of allegiance.
Who's gonna run this town tonight?
Yeah, I say that we
We gonna run this town.
Break the silence and the violence.
One more time.
Break the silence and the violence.
As it now stands, the public health care system in Jamaica is incapable of dealing with the needs of our population as a whole. We have patients having to sleep on chairs and on benches for days sometimes while they wait to be admitted. We have the very high costs of diagnostic tests, of surgical implants, and of medication where they are not covered by the regions or the Ministry of Health or the National Health Fund. Breakdowns in equipment, from basic things like elevators and air conditioning systems to critical tools like CT scans and MRI machines. Madam Speaker, it's imperative that we have a new direction in healthcare. If our hard-working healthcare workers are going to be able to treat our people effectively, the facilities at public hospitals and health centers must improve. There are 23 Madam Speaker, there are 23 public hospitals in Jamaica, and this doesn't include the University of the West Indies. Under the next PNP government, Madam Speaker, we would have the following priorities in our new direction. We would increase the number of renal dialysis centers with the aim initially of having one at every regional hospital in the country. A national health insurance scheme will be a priority of our next administration. When we last costed it, it was at about 22 billion a year to do. But it is essential to make the difference between treating an illness or waiting to suffer and die because of a lack of resources, which is all too often the case now. A third priority program, Madam Speaker, is the expansion of primary health care across the country. This will involve upgrading health centers, establishing mobile clinics in deep rural areas, and expanding the number of community health aides across the country, deploying them out in the communities. This is particularly needed for the treatment of NCDs and mental health patients island-wide. We need to get the community health aides actually going into the community. And greater emphasis has to be placed on training and education and retention of healthcare professionals. For nurses, we'll resume the allocation of resources for scholarships and grants to nursing students and expand the number of permanent posts in the health system for nurses. For doctors, following the completion of their internship and a senior house officer one position, we will deploy them to serve in Jamaica's rural areas. Incentives will be provided to include scholarships for postgraduate training after a period of service in our rural communities. And we will upgrade all Type B hospitals to offer more clinical specialty services to reduce the burden on the overburdened regional hospital system. We live in an era when the people have lost faith in politicians and the institutions of governance. We have passed laws in this House and in this Parliament to put in place a robust anti-corruption framework, but there is no demonstrated political will to deliver accountability. At least 5 ministers of this JLP government and numerous politically appointed board chairmen have had to step down for various misdeeds or even corruption. It is only the reports of the Auditor General, the pressure from the opposition, and the revulsion of the wider public that forced them to step down in each of these occasions. That was the only reason why. This has to stop, Madam Speaker. Without effective accountability, misconduct continues and the public becomes more and more cynical. I pledge to the people of Jamaica that the next PNP government will be different. We will make whatever further adjustments to the anti-corruption laws and institutional framework are required to make them effective. I brought impeachment legislation to this House to hold parliamentarians to account for their serious misdeeds, a promise which the Prime Minister made when he was campaigning in the run-up to the 2016 election in his manifesto, but has not delivered. And when we form government, Madam Speaker, we will seek to pass that impeachment legislation into law so that no parliamentarian can bring the public, our name and our reputation into disrepute by their antics out the road without suffering some accountability for it. And I have told my colleagues on this side, Madam Speaker, when we form government under my leadership, don't expect leniency, don't expect accommodation when it comes to that kind of wrongdoing or any kind of wrongdoing. Expect full accountability. We will govern with integrity. We will govern with integrity. Public resources are for the benefit of the people and not for any individual's personal gain or profit. Time come for a new direction.
Be careful what you ask for. I am here to tell him I trust the Jamaican people's judgment. I believe in democracy. We abide by the results of elections. And we are confident with the way this country is being run now and how the people of the corruption and the mismanagement and the lack of fear for the ordinary Jamaican people. We have nothing to fear. To the contrary, bring it on.
And as such will function under its general oversight. And I don't want to be giving conflicting views. It is a commission of Parliament, but it is still independent. It is independent, like all the other commissions which have to be attached to some form of state authority. But the Parliament cannot interfere in or direct the commission as to what to do, in the similar way that there are other independent commissions which are attached to Parliament.
Madam Speaker, I believe that the Minister of Finance, in terms of shut him out and let me talk. I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. No, I know you would have a problem with that. I know you would have a problem with that. I've never made I have not made my point. I was in a point of order, and I want to be heard.
Time come. Time come. Time come.
Time come. Time come. Time come.
Time come.
Time come. Time come.
Our 85th anniversary. It gives me great pleasure to say, time come.
Time come, Jamaica.
Time come now.